Sponsored by Hohem. When it comes to wireless microphones, there's so many of them available in the market, but one of the most popular ones is the Rode Wireless. And this was the one that I purchased a long time ago since it was first released. It retails for $199 and honestly it feels like I've been ripped off because it's missing a lot of features I wasn't expecting that I needed that this DJI mic, a company that produces drones and some camera equipment, got into the audio microphone industry, and oh my god, it's actually really good. So this thing retails for $330. No, it's not cheap, slightly more than the Rode, even the Rode Wireless 2. So in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and review the Rode mic, share with you my thoughts and opinions, some tips and tricks that I gathered throughout the months of owning this thing so that you could be well educated to make that financial decision if this is actually something right for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So the Rode microphone comes in this traveling case, which honestly I'll describe it very similar to like AirPods Pro. It's magnetically shut, held together, holds everything intact. So the microphone, the receiver, as well as this other mic, it's empty right here because I'm using the current mic right now. And the reason why it's working so well is because each mic, so these two microphones actually have 8 gigabytes of internal storage. So right now the transmitter is inside the case, but I'm still recording my audio because this thing, both of these mics actually have a built-in backup and it works extremely well, and it saved my butt a bunch of times, especially when I'm filming outside where I'm at risk of losing signal with the receiver. But everything simply just slides in, and the case itself is able to allow these microphones, these audio equipment I should say, to have 15 hours of battery life. But individually, each microphone is rated to last anywhere around 5 hours. 5.5 is what they list on their website, which is more than enough for any film session, to be honest. And then to charge everything, you simply just put it back in the traveling case, close the lid, and plug in via the USB port back here. But there is a built-in battery bank inside this thing, which allows this microphone to be charged multiple times until you actually have to charge the travel case itself. Now the travel case is made out of a plastic texture, but doesn't feel cheap at all. Feels very premium, honestly. And the little latch here is also reinforced because it's made out of metal as it's cold to touch. All the accessories that you need fitted inside the traveling case, so you don't have to travel with a separate bag or anything like that to have additional accessories. Although the dead cat has to be placed in here, as well as the provided aux cable to plug into your camera. For the microphone, you have to do it all right here. But the hot shoe, the lightning cable, and the USB-C cable, or I should say adapter, has its own dedicated spot right here, slot in the case. So literally, it's extremely compact and very convenient to travel with. Now each mic does have a little clip right here, which allows you to attach onto your person. But if you're wearing clothing like I am right now, this part is actually magnetic, and you can simply just attach it on your clothing and it sticks on like so. The magnets are extremely powerful. Not once have they ever fell off. I even ran across a field at full speed and these things stayed on really well. Now the benefits of having two microphones is obviously you have a backup mic, but also if you have a co-host, you could easily synchronize the audio, as the receiver does an excellent job making sure everybody's audio level is perfectly synced. Now some cool tips I wish I'd known from the very beginning is the fact that yes, even though there's two microphones and they both turn on, once you open up the lid, if you just need to use one mic, you can just leave one mic behind, grab the receiver, plug it into whatever device you want to plug it into so it can record the audio, and just close the case and it will automatically turn off that mic instead of you manually have to taking it off and powering it off that way. Something that I wish I knew from the very beginning because that was the old method I used to do. So I like the fact that the case itself is indeed smart and will tell the device to turn off if it's not in use. But you do have buttons to override things. So you do have a link button right here on the microphone as well as a record. So you can manually record right here. Then on the other side, you do have the power on and off button, which you hold down and it actually vibrates to give you a notification that you're doing something. So you're not left blind, but you do have a green light right here as well as a red light. The red means it's recording with its internal storage, and the green would just indicate that it's connected to the receiver. I like the fact that they're both separated, so it's really easy to know what's going on. Now you don't have to use the dedicated microphone that the receiver has, as there is a little jack right here, so you can actually plug in a lavalier mic if you like. So if you wish to improve the audio quality, you could totally do so. The only thing you cannot do is expand the storage, as it's fixed to 8 gigabytes with its internal storage, which once more, they do provide 2 for each mic and does an excellent job outdoors. I'll give you a little sound sample right here. And here it is, outside with the dead cat. This thing actually has a lock-in mechanism too, so if you're moving around, it's not gonna fall off. A complaint that I had was the Rode Wireless. But this one, however, does a fantastic job, and it's partially windy. Right now there's a nice breeze coming in, so I believe you should be able to hear me just fine. If not, I'll voice over this part, but from my experience, it's been solid to the most part. Now, special thanks to our video sponsor, which is Hohan, for providing this amazing gimbal, which is what I'm using right now. Notice how the iPhone's actually facing me, so I'm actually utilizing the good camera, and the camera on top of this thing actually uses AI technology, so it's able to track me, as it has its own dedicated hardware, which allows this thing to have its own separate camera and track me, as you're seeing right here. And it does this all by gestures. If I wanted to stop tracking me, I just put my hands up and it stops. And if I'm okay for it to track me one more, I just do this and it starts tracking me again. And if I want to rotate the camera from landscape to portrait mode, I just simply do this gesture with my thumb. Everything's come loaded out of the box. The gimbal itself, it's super small and nimble. It does have access to a third-party app, but it's not necessary, as you can utilize your smartphone camera and start recording right away and take advantage of the AI tracking capability. This thing has been solid to the most part, as I had such a good time recording all the B-roll shots that you see in today's video, and I'm definitely planning on using this a lot more in the near future. So a link to their gimbal will be in the video description down below. Back to the video. So yeah, not bad. And then the connectors, yeah, as I stated, you do have a USB-C as well as a lightning cable, and it simply just attaches on like so. Super easy, you could do it in a matter of seconds. It uses very similar connector pins that you typically will find on the DJI Pocket, which was a great camera. And whenever you plug this into your iPhone, the iPhone is smart enough to detect that there's an external mic and will automatically swap the audio source. So you don't have to go into the settings or anything like that. It just works fluidly. And speaking of fluidly, this microphone is basically compatible across every device. I've used this quite a amount of times on my MacBook Pro as well as my PC computer, which makes an excellent streaming device if you're on Twitch or something. Whenever I'm streaming on Twitch, as a fine example, I do use these as my dedicated mic, and it works extremely well. And since it has support for another mic, I could always have like a co-host or something like that, and it will automatically synchronize the audio. There's no compatibility issues or anything like that when using third-party softwares like OBS. It works perfectly fine. So if you wish, you can use this as your dedicated mic on your computer. Now you do have access to a hot shoe as well. So this little clip right here can easily attach to any hot shoe on your camera. And when it's not in use, you simply just slide it back into the case, as it does have its own dedicated slot right here, which makes this into honestly the ultimate mobile setup. And then the receiver itself, again, it is a touchscreen, and it allows you to have access to basically everything. Not only can you see the stats right here, but you can also monitor like the signal that it has to the transmitter, the battery life. You can actually reformat the storage on each individual receiver. You can adjust the gain, adjust the brightness, the volume if you're using headphones into this thing, switch it between mono or stereo. And there's just so much you can do on this thing. And I like the fact that DJI managed to actually make the screen usable, because even though it doesn't look like the screen is functional in any single way, navigating through this UI, it's extremely useful. Somehow DJI managed to pull this off extremely well. And I like this because it doesn't rely on you to actually use like a third-party app or anything like that to adjust the settings. Everything is adjustable right here. There's no need to have a phone around or anything like that. All in all, if you're looking for a mobile microphone setup, or even just in a sitting position like I am right now, this microphone works extremely well no matter the environment. And so for $329, this thing is extremely worth it, especially when you take into consideration if you just need one microphone, you have a backup, so you're always ready to shoot. If the case gets damaged or you forgot it, you're not left stranded, as you can actually recharge each microphone, since it does have a USB port on the side. Unlike the Rode Wireless, if you like to charge this thing, you have to make sure you have 2 USB-C cables available. This thing, you can just put it on the the case and just charge it with one USB-C cable. And then if you have a co-host, yeah, The transmitter does an excellent job in synchronizing the two microphones, so it's always in sync. Not once have I ever had any issues or experienced any bugs on this thing. It's extremely reliable. So DJI, and I'm definitely going to be using this as my main microphone for now on, not just for YouTube, but even on Twitch, as it works really well. Aside from that, there you guys have it. Hope you guys got some good useful information about this product. If you did, I would greatly appreciate if you actually leave the video a like. And if you'd like to know where you go ahead and find it, I'll be sure to include an affiliate link in the video description down below. So if you're interested in it, if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you check out using that link, as it sends a small kickback to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, it just helps me to continue making these type of videos for you guys. Aside from that, if you enjoy tech videos, more honest reviews, as well as some tips and tricks, make sure you are subscribed, as I basically cover anything tech related, honestly. Like some previous videos I made is this one over here, where I go through all the awesome hidden features that Windows 11 innovated that not a lot of people know about. And then that video over there, that is a video YouTube's recommending specifically for you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.